Hey, what's up you guys? This is Hardik and I welcome you to my channel. Today in this video I'm going to show you how to create your first campaign or list in GetResponse so that you can start creating the autoresponders, newsletters, landing pages or web forms, etc. I will take you behind the scenes through my GetResponse account and show you the step-by-step process to create a list or a campaign. But before we jump in, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. Just hit the subscribe button right below this video and also press the bell icon next to it so that you don't miss out any of the upcoming videos on this channel. Click the link in the description of this video and start your 30-day free trial with GetResponse for a month. So let's begin. I'll start by logging to my GetResponse account. So guys, as you can see here, I have landed on the dashboard of my GetResponse account. The GetResponse has recently revamped their UI, which is very beautiful and intuitive. You have everything in terms of widgets. You can drag and drop them for creating your customized dashboard. For now, let's jump over to creating a list. Just click on this contacts icon right here on the menu bar. Click on the create list button. So the first thing is to give a name to your list. You can also copy the settings from the existing list that you have already created. So as you can see here, a new list with this name has been created. So you have the options to add contacts to this list. You can make it default from this link. So for now, let's jump to the settings and do the rest of the configuration. So give your list a name or title. You can provide a description to it. You can select the category by expanding this drop down. So since this list is about the weight loss, we can choose health and beauty as the category. You can choose the language from this drop down. Let's keep English selected for now. So this is important. It's recommended that you keep it switched on because otherwise most of the email providers like Gmail or Yahoo may consider your email as spam or junk. So I personally recommend it to keep it switched on. You can either drag and drop or choose the logo from here for this campaign, or you have also have an option to link your logo directly from your website. Here is the RSS feed link for your campaign. Just click on this Save General Settings button. Now let's jump over to the subscription tab. So the first option is whether you want to receive an email every time someone subscribes to your email list or not. You simply need to select the email address on which you want to receive an email every time someone opts into your list. Just expand this drop down and select the email address and click the apply button. The second option is whether you want to enable double opt-in or not. If you toggle this button and switch on the options, then every time someone opts to your list, they will receive a confirmation email. They need to confirm their permission to be on your list by clicking on the confirmation link in the email. I personally keep them switched off because users need to go through an additional step in order to be on your list, and sometimes they forget or even might not opt in at all if there is a delay in receiving the confirmation email or it lands in their junk folder. In case you want to enable the confirmation email, then you need to do some additional settings here. You can let GetResponse host your confirmation email. You can preview it here, or you can provide your own confirmation page URL here in this text field. This is how the GetResponse confirmation page looks like. The unsubscribe page is the page that your contacts will see first when they click on the unsubscribe link or they opt out of your list. Here is how the GetResponse unsubscribe page looks like. The unsubscribe success page is the page your contacts will see after they unsubscribe from your list. And here is how the newsletter directory page will look like. It's your newsletter archive page, which is always hosted by the GetResponse. You have an option whether you want to allow the search engines to index your list or not. By default it's on, so you can click this toggle button and disable it. If you don't want the search engines to index your list, click on the save subscription settings. So now let's jump over to the confirmation message tab. First of all, you need to select the format in which you want to show the confirmation message. Select either HTML or plain text. You can choose the subject line by expanding this drop down list here. You can select from the predefined subject lines from the GetResponse, or you can add your own subject line by clicking on this link here, add custom subject line. Choose the from address from this drop down list. Select the reply to email address. Now you need to set up the body template for your confirmation email. So expand this drop down. So again, the GetResponse provides some predefined email templates for the body of your email. Click on this confirmation message and you will be able to take a look at the preview of the confirmation email. So once you are done setting up everything, click on the save confirmation message button. Now let's go back to the list page. So since we have created a new list, you are free to add contacts or newsletters or autoresponders to this list. So this pretty much covers everything that I wanted to share with you guys for creating the list or campaign from your GetResponse account. Just head over to the email marketing icon right here. Just click on the autoresponders link. So from here you can manage all your autoresponder messages. So we are on a default list view. Just press on this icon right here to view all the messages in the grid format or a calendar view. So as you can see here, all my autoresponder messages are showing up on the calendar. All the numbers which starts from 0 are the days on which my respective autoresponder messages will be sent out to my email list. So let's go ahead and create a new autoresponder message. Just click on this create autoresponder button right here. So here is a screen from where we can start creating our autoresponder messages. So the first thing to do is to provide our autoresponder a name. So as you can see here, this name is for our reference only. That means it won't be visible to the user or our subscriber. So I can give it a name like welcome, maybe day 0. So the next step is to assign the autoresponder to a specific day in a cycle. For example, message start on day 0 or the day the contact subscribes, and the day 1 is the day after opt-in. So it should be sent out on the day 0. So from here we need to select the list on which we want to allow the subscriber to sign up. So here is the list which I have created for this particular video only. The first thing is to have a list or a campaign in place before you jump in to create an autoresponder. I have created a separate video for this. The link is right there in the description of this video. So the next step is to configure when our email should be sent out to the subscriber. By default it's selected as immediately, which will send out an email immediately the user signs up to your email list. If you keep the option selected as with delay off, then you will have an option to select the hours from this drop down. So if you select, let's say 1 hour, then the email will be sent out after a delay of 1 hour to the subscriber. If you keep no earlier than option selected, then you need to select the time here from the drop down. So if you, let's say if you select 12 AM, then the email will be sent out to the subscriber after it's 12 AM. You also have an option to deliver this message at the recipient's local time in his time zone. So for now let's keep this option as immediately only. The next option is the days on which this email should be sent out to the subscriber. By default, the subscribers will be able to receive emails on all the days of the week. Let's say we just unchecked on Sunday, then the email won't be sent out on the Sunday, but it will be sent out on the next day, which would be the Monday. So next step is to choose the message that should be sent out to the subscriber. If you have already created an autoresponder and saved it as a draft, then it will be visible right here. Just click on the one that you want to choose and duplicate it on the newly created autoresponder. So for now, let's go ahead and click on this link, create new email. So on this screen, we need to configure the subject which will be visible to your contact or subscriber. So the first field is message name. So this message is for the internal use only. So this subject is going to be visible to the subscriber. So we need to give a proper subject name here. So here you have some options to personalize the subject name. You also have an option to choose some emojis right here, which will be visible in the subject. For now, let's go ahead to the next step. So the next step is to select the from address, which will be visible to the subscriber or the contact. So here you will find all the email addresses that you have configured in your GetResponse account. You also have an option to change the reply to email address, and you can select the same from this drop down. From here you need to select the template or set up your HTML email which should be sent out to the subscriber. You are presented with various categories. Let's head over to the fitness and wellness section because the current list is related to weight loss. So here are a couple of templates to choose from for my weight loss related autoresponder message. I'll go ahead and choose maybe this one. So here is the interface to customize your message. You simply need to drag and drop the element on your message like this. You are free to customize it. Just double click on the element that you want to customize. You also have an option for a mobile preview so that you will get an idea about how it will look like on the mobile devices. You also have an option to test this message. So let's go ahead and click on this send test message. We'll send the test message on this email address. Here is the email that I just received. So this is how your email will look like when it will be delivered to your subscriber. Now let's move over to the next step. You also have an option to preview the inboxes of various email clients like Gmail, Yahoo, Outlook, etc. Just click on this inbox preview link. It will open the preview windows for all the email clients. On the left hand side you will find all the various email clients like Gmail, Outlook, Thunderbird, Windows Live Mail. Even the mobile device previews are also available. You can also check your spam score of this autoresponder message. Anything below the 5 is good to go with. The less the spam score, the better it is. So in order to achieve a good spam score, you should keep the images and links as less as possible in your email. So now let's go ahead to the next step. So we are back on the create autoresponder page now. If you click on the save button, then this autoresponder message will be just saved and will not be sent out to the users or subscribers. So if you click on the save and publish button, then this autoresponder message will be sent out to on the respective day that you have selected to your subscribers. So now let's head over to the contacts. Just press on this contacts icon on the menu bar. So as soon as you click on the contacts button on the dashboard, you will land on this screen. So here are the couple of lists that I have already created for my various campaigns. Just press on this show all contacts link right here, which will eventually take you to the search page of the contacts. So as you can see here, my contacts from the different lists that I have created are showing up right here. You can sort the contacts based on the email address, name, or the date on which they subscribed. last update date, their IP address, and so on. You can also add or remove the columns that you want to see on the screen. Like let's say, let's remove the origin column from the list. So simply deselect it from the pop-up and it won't be appearing on the screen now. You also have an option to delete the contacts. Just click on this link if you want to delete any contact from your list. You can also add a few custom fields. You are free to add your own by clicking on this add custom field link. The next option is to copy the list. You can copy all your contacts from one list to another. The next option is move to list, which will allow you to move all the contacts from one list to another. The next options are score and tag. I haven't actually explored these two options, so go ahead and check it out if you want to explore them more. The last option is the export. You can export your contacts from your list. Simply give it a name, contacts 18. You can export your file in any of these formats, CSV, XML or XLSX. Let's keep it CSV and press on this export button here. So your download is ready. Just click on this download link here and your contacts are exported in a CSV file. As you can see here, it will export all the information, all the metadata that is associated with your contacts. You also have an option for an advanced search. So if you want to further filter down the contacts, then just click on this advanced search link. Just deselect all the lists from this drop down and keep only those lists selected for which you want to see the contacts, and click on this apply button. So now only the contacts from this list are showing up here. You have some couple of more options to further filter down the contacts. So this covers the searching of the contacts from your lists. So now let's move on to the statistics. Just click on the statistics link on the menu bar. So from the subscriptions, you can keep the track of opens, clicks, social media shares and unsubscribes, all from one intuitive analytics dashboard. You can segment the contacts based on their message engagement and take the further actions that you want. You can do a real-time activity tracking that lets you take a bird's eye view and watch contacts all over the globe receive, open and click your messages. So data is shown here in terms of line graph. As you can see here, you can toggle it to the table view from this toggle button on the right hand side. You can filter down the data based on the time duration from this drop down list on the top right corner of your screen. You can change your list for which you want to see the data from this drop down list. As you can see here, I'm getting the subscriptions from all over the world. The data in the blue shows the country from where I got the subscriptions for my lists. So that covers everything about the statistics. Now let's jump over to the next section, which is list hygiene. So list hygiene is a set of practices you use to ensure good quality of your list in your GetResponse account. It is also a name for a functionality that gives you the ability to remove and blacklist contacts from your list. Maintaining list hygiene means getting rid of email duplicates or the inactive ones. You can also create the blacklisting rules which will prevent a specific contacts from subscribing to your email lists. So essentially you can use list hygiene to bulk remove contacts or remove duplicates. On the list hygiene page, you can immediately delete specific contacts by hand. You simply need to create a rule to delete all the contacts when they unsubscribe or are deleted from other lists. But deleting the contacts doesn't prevent them from resubscribing to your list in the future. If you'd like to stop them from adding to your list, then you need to blacklist them. Just expand this drop down list and select the list you would like to delete the contacts from. Just type in the email addresses or paste them from the file like this. Click the delete button, which will eventually remove all the contacts that you have provided here. This actually doesn't do a hard delete. You can still see your removed context in the removed list. Now let's head over to the next part, which is suppression lists. So the suppression lists are a very convenient way to make sure that you don't send updates on the products or services to recipients who have opted out from receiving them. Simply create suppression list. To set it up, just enter the suppression list name here in this text field. Simply copy and paste the context that you want to suppress from your lists. Include @ for the domain names like this. Click on this Save Suppression List button. Once you have successfully created a suppression list, you will automatically return to the suppression list page. From there you can view the list that you have created, edit and delete the existing list, sort your existing list by name or date, and create new suppression lists. Now let's jump over to the next option, which is custom fields. So you can add the custom data that can be entered into your message to personalize it for each subscriber. You can create personalized fields for your contacts, which let you collect any information from your contacts that will be helpful to you, such as phone and fax numbers, company name, the number of employees, etc. So just click on this custom field button right here, which will open the wizard where you can set up the custom fields. Expand this drop down list to select the type of information you want to gather. You can choose from the country, currency, date and time, gender, IP address, phone number, etc. Since this is a fax number, we'll pick up the phone field. You can also add some default value to it. So if you click on this checkbox, then it won't get show up to the contacts. So for now, let's skip it and press on the save button. So we have added a new custom field, fax number. You can edit or delete this newly created custom field from here. Now let's move on to the next option, which is import statistics. So from this screen, you will be able to upload the contacts to your lists. Simply expand this drop down and select the list in which you want to upload the contacts. You can do it either manually by entering the email addresses one by one, or you can upload a contacts file in the get response format from here. So let's simply choose the file that we have just downloaded today. You can also upload the contacts directly from Zendesk, Google Docs, and all the other providers from here. You can also type in or paste the contacts in this text area. So the next option is to choose whether you want to add and update the existing contacts. So for now, let's skip the first option selected, which is add and update the existing contacts. Click on this checkbox and click on the next button, and just click on the import button at the bottom of the page, which will start importing the contacts. So as per my current plan, I won't be able to upload more contacts. So I'll simply click on this link at the bottom of the page, which is import as much as possible. The import is completed and 179 contacts have been imported to this list, as you can see here. So guys, this pretty much covers everything that I wanted to share with you for managing the contacts from your GetResponse account. Just click on the landing pages link on the menu bar. So here are the couple of landing pages that I've already created. Click on the create landing page button. So now you need to choose the template for your landing page. So from the left hand side, you can browse the templates by category. You can also import your template or design a template from the scratch from this link, and you can choose the layout for your landing page. So for now, Let's choose the template from the gallery itself. This one looks good. In the pop-up modal, enter a name. So this is how the landing page will look like. And here is the thank you page. Just click on this use template button here. So we have landed on a drag and drop HTML editor. To edit text, you can double click the text fragment you want to change and add your own text. Editing tools menu becomes available as soon as you double click on the text. Use them to change the style, format and positioning of your text. Use the tools in the side toolbar to further customize the design of your template. You can add more sections, buttons, forms, shapes, videos, social sharing icons and PayPal buttons. Click the cell phone icon on the top menu bar to generate a mobile friendly version of your landing page. Click on this gear icon right here to do this SEO settings for this landing page. You can also switch to the HTML code editor from this link. You can also preview how the landing page will look like after it's published by clicking on the preview button on the top menu bar. So this is how this landing page will look like after it's published. If you want to edit the thank you page, then you can click on this tab here and make the changes that you want. Once you are done editing your landing page, just click on the next step button on the top right corner of the screen. Since we don't want to make any changes to the thank you page for now, we'll click on this proceed without mobile versions now. So here you need to set up SEO settings, landing page URL settings and subscription settings. In SEO settings, you can edit the page title and add a description. Adding a description helps your page become more visible in Google search results. Or check this checkbox or check the box for your page not to be indexed by Google. In landing page URL settings, pick up the URL for your landing page. By default, your landing pages are published at one of GetResponse subdomains. You can also publish it at your domain or directory. Simply expand this drop down and click on add a new domain link. Just enter your landing page name here and your domain name here and click on this add button, which will eventually host this landing page on this subdomain. In subscription settings, select the list contacts will be added to when they sign up. Set the double opt-in options. Choose whether to add a contact to an autoresponder cycle and set the thank you page. Optionally, you can also add a tracking code to your landing page with Google Analytics and Google AdWords. For now, let's skip these two sections and click on the publish button. So this landing page is published now and you can preview it from here. So this is how your final landing page will look like. You can edit the landing page that we just created from this link. You can edit the SEO, landing page URL and subscription settings that we did on the last screen while creating this landing page. You can duplicate this landing page from this link, and finally you can delete this landing page from the delete link right here. So guys, this pretty much covers everything that I wanted to share with you for creating a landing page from your GetResponse account. Just click on the email marketing button on the menu bar. So by default it will open the newsletter screen only because it's the first item on the menu bar. Just click on this create newsletter button. Now you have two options to choose from. The first one is the drag and drop editor and the second one is the HTML source editor. So for now, let's click on drag and drop email editor. So on this screen we need to set up the newsletter settings. So the first thing is to select the list. This is the list where you can find the newsletter statistics for. So let's select this list. Enter a message name here. This message is for the internal purpose only. Give a subject line to your newsletter. So this is going to be showing up to the subscribers. So you need to give the proper subject line. For now, let's keep it weekly updates only. You can also personalize the subject line by providing some details about the subscribers, like his first name, last name, email address. You can also provide some emojis from this icon. Choose the from email address from this drop down. You can also choose the reply to email address. Let's keep the same email address. Click the distribution settings and set up the analytics and social media sharing options. So now let's go to the next step. Just click on this next step button at the bottom right corner of the screen. Now we need to choose a template for our newsletter. You can use the sidebar menu to browse the templates by the categories. You can also import your template or design a template from the scratch. For now, let's go ahead and choose this Halloween template. So once you choose a pre-designed template, you will be able to add, rearrange and edit text and images. Use this sidebar toolbar to add more sections, social media sharing buttons. Just double click on any of the sections to edit the text or change the image. You can also drag and drop any of the elements that you want from this toolbar on the right hand side, like this. You can also view the mobile preview of your newsletter by clicking on this mobile preview button on the top right corner of your screen. You can also send a test message to your email address before you publish it. So when you are done, just click the next step button on the bottom right corner of your screen. Now you need to select the recipients from one or more lists or custom filters, or select them by hand. You can also exclude contacts from the recipient list. Click next step to move to review and scheduling. So let's select this list. So there is only one subscriber on this list. You can click on this I want to select contacts manually link. You can also exclude the contacts from the recipient list from here. Just click next step to move to review and scheduling. So you can review your message details from here. So it's time for you to schedule your newsletter or send it right away. If you would like to adjust when they receive your newsletter, turn the perfect timing on by toggling this button here. For scheduling your newsletter, just click on the schedule button. Select the delivery date and time here. Select the time zone, whether you want to keep the perfect timing on or not, which will deliver your message when your recipients are more likely to open and click. You can also turn on the time travel, which will deliver your newsletter at the recipient's local time. Once you are done setting up everything, then just click on the schedule button. So you have created your newsletter. Now just click on this my newsletter link, which will open this screen from where you will manage all the newsletters that you have created. If you want to see the newsletters from a particular list, then you can expand this all lists drop down and select the one for which you want to see the newsletters for, and click on this apply button. You have some sorting options, sorting by name, status, sent on, delivered, etc. On the right hand side, you will also find some additional options. If you want to reuse the existing newsletter, then just click on this reuse link. You can also send a test message from this link, send test message. You can turn off the online view from here. You can preview the newsletter. Let's take a look at the global view. So this is how the global view looks like. It will show the real-time activity for your newsletter. You can view the statistics for this newsletter from the statistics link. So this is how the analytics will look like. You will be able to do an in-depth analysis of the open rates, click-through rates, social media shares, etc. for your newsletter that you have created. And the last option is to archive this newsletter, which will eventually unpublish this newsletter. So guys, this pretty much covers everything that I wanted to share with you for creating your first newsletter from your GetResponse account. The first thing is to install a GetResponse for WordPress plugin on your WordPress site, which will let you add site visitors to your contact list, update contact information, track site visits, and pass e-commerce data to GetResponse. It also helps you keep your list growing and ensures you have the contact information and e-commerce data to plan successful marketing campaigns. To start using GetResponse for WordPress, you will need to install and activate the plugin and connect your GetResponse account. Just go to the plugins menu and click on the add new link here. Search for GetResponse for WordPress. So once you have found it in the search results, click the install now button. Click on the activate button right here. So we are on the plugins page now. So now we need to connect this plugin with the GetResponse. Just click on this GetResponse item on the menu bar. In order to connect GetResponse with WordPress, we'll need the API key from the GetResponse. So let's go to my GetResponse account. Just go to the profile and click on integrations and API. Click on the API link on the left hand side. Copy this API link, paste it right here. If you are having an enterprise account with GetResponse, then you can enable few more features from here. For now, let's skip them and click on this connect button. So our GetResponse account has been successfully connected with WordPress now. Once you've installed the GetResponse for WordPress plugin, you can add visitors to your site or blogs to your GetResponse list by adding GetResponse forms anywhere on your site and within your blog post, and adding an opt-in box to comments and registration forms to add site visitors to your list. Add an opt-in box to contact form 7 and BuddyPress forms. So for now, let's try adding the web form on one of my blog posts. The first of all, we need to find the place within the post where we want to add the form. Then we need to select the GetResponse form from the drop down. Let's go to posts. Let me just edit this hello world post. So on this editor, we need to select the web form that we have created on our GetResponse account. So I'll select this one, which will insert this shortcode automatically in the editor. We simply need to press this update button and our GetResponse web form should be showing up on this post. So here is the GetResponse form. Now you can start capturing the email addresses of your site visitors. You can also add any of the landing pages that you have created on the GetResponse to your WordPress blog. Simply click this add page button. Select the landing page that you have created on the GetResponse. You are free to change this URL, maybe say StayFit1. Set the status. Let's keep it published and click on the save button. So now we have published a landing page from the GetResponse on our blog. Let's check whether this landing page has been successfully published on the WordPress blog or not. As you can see here, I have published my GetResponse landing page successfully on my WordPress blog. Now you can start capturing the email addresses from your visitors directly on your WordPress blog. So guys, this pretty much covers everything that I wanted to share with you for connecting your GetResponse account with your WordPress blog. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you think I could provide a value out of this video and help you in some way, then please give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Click the link in the description of this video and start your 30-day free trial at GetResponse for a month. Bye for now. See you in the next video.